Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel KANYA Art and Craft. This is Devu Priya, and from the thumbnail you might have guessed, yes, this is the most requested video, Shreenathji painting tutorial. Okay, since it's a lengthy process and this painting alone took me 15 days to complete, so I have attempted to cover practically everything in this video but in brief chunks. We have created a unique 5-day, 10-hour workshop where we will be going over each and every aspect and techniques in detail. If you're interested in learning this painting thoroughly with my guidance, then contact us on our WhatsApp number provided in the description box below. As you can see, I have already started working on the canvas. First, I've drawn the sketch on a paper and then used tracing paper to trace the image on canvas. Then started with a coloring pot for background. To achieve this shade, you need to mix Prussian Blue, Turquoise Blue and white, covering the whole background with this shade. Okay, one tip here, after the first layer of the background dries, you may notice a lot of patches on the background. To avoid that, you need to apply at least 2 layers on the background of the same shade. Applying Cadmium Red on the lower part of the ghagra. Applying orange color on the top part of the ghagra. Applying sap green color on the leaves. Applying a very light pink shade on the lotus as a base coat. Applying orange color on the top part of the ghagra. Applying the same orange color on the trouser part. If you find this tutorial helpful, then don't forget to subscribe to our channel and please press on the bell icon to get notification of our upcoming projects. Applying turquoise blue color on the face part as a base coat. I'll be applying 2 layers of the same shade on the face to avoid patches. I'll be covering every part of the body using the same turquoise tip shade. Applying light pink shade on the lotus garland as a base coat. Applying pearl metallic gold on all the borders of the garment and on the jewelry part as well as a base coat. We might need to apply 2 layers of the same shade because the pigmentation of this pearl metallic gold color is very less. And since I'll be doing some embossing and ornamentation design on all the jewelry parts and border areas, and so for that we need a solid base coat. So that is one of the reasons why we need to apply at least 2 to 3 layers of pearl metallic gold color on each areas. Covering the hair area using black color. Applying grey color on the headgear. I'm basically planning to do this headgear as a mayurpang or a peacock wing. Now I'm applying a darker shade of grey on the outer side of Shreenathji figure to create an illusion that one thing is in the background and other one is in the foreground. So this is how we can create depth in our painting. Okay, here I'm marking the pleats again using white glass marker, and now I'll start with the shading part. Applying a darker shade of orange on one side of the pleat. You can mix cadmium red with orange to create this darker shade. Similarly, I am applying a darker shade of red on the lower part of the ghagra. To achieve this shade, I have added burnt sienna with cadmium red. I'm shading the corner of the trousers as well to give this a dimension. Applying some darker shade on the corners to add crease and folds effect. On the sleeve as well, I'm applying some darker shade on the corners to give dimension. Applying a darker shade of turquoise on the corner of the face to create depth. Combine turquoise with a little bit of Prussian blue and a very little amount of black to achieve this shade. I'm applying this darker shade on the corner of the face using brush number 1 and then blending the color using a clean wet brush. So you need to keep two brushes handy, one for applying the color and another one for blending the color. Applying lighter shade of blue on the top part of the eyelid and some other parts to highlight. Applying light pink shade on the lotus as a base coat and then applying a darker shade of pink on the top part of the lotus and blending them together. Using round brush number 1 to draw this stroke on the lotus. Applying golden color on the border and then I'm applying cadmium red on the outer part of the border. Applying few strokes with darker shade of pink on the top part of the lotus. First I have applied a layer of base coat using a very light pink shade and then I'm applying some strokes with darker pink shade on the top part of the lotus. So I'll follow the same process for all the flowers. Now for the leaves I'm applying again a darker shade of sap green and then blending it with a clean wet brush, and after that we'll apply few strokes with the green color on the lower part. So for all the leaves I'll follow the same process. Here I'm applying a few strokes of dark pink shade on the top part of each petal of lotus garland. Now applying dots in a random pattern using grey color. And then I'll show you step by step process how you can make it look realistic. Here I'm applying orange color on few areas maintaining equal distance and then applying green color following the sequence. Now I'm applying lighter shade of each color on the center part of the garland to highlight and make it look realistic. Following the same process, applying the lightest shade on the center part to highlight and create depth. Now is the time to apply enormous number of dots to create this beautiful jewelry design. Applying golden color on few parts of the jewelry as a base coat. Now again I'll continue to apply dots maintaining a sequence that will create a beautiful jewelry design. There's no requirement that you stick to the same design that I'm doing. You're free to make your own jewelry design according to your preference. So think, practice and create something new. Mixed cadmium yellow with burnt sienna to create this shade and applying it on all the corners of the folds to create depth and to make it look realistic. Here I'm taking a plastic sheet to make a cone out of it. I have secured the edges using tape. Now pouring antique gold shade and then secure the top part using a tape. And ta-da! Our DIY 3D outliner is ready to use. This process worked really well for me. You can definitely give it a try when you don't have those ready-made 3D outliners. Okay, so here I'm using my DIY 3D outliner to create some embossing design on the ghagra part and on some jewelry part. You have probably noticed that I'm using both handmade 3D outliner and the ready-made one from Fabric Krill. The reason is wherever I want to cover a very small or a very tiny area with some small detailing. On that areas I'm using this DIY cone liner because that is helping me to create very thin and detailed stroke. And for the other parts, like where I want to cover a bigger area, I'm using this ready-made one. Adding some embossing design on the dupatta part as well. Design and motifs you can choose according to your preference. I'm just sticking with some paisley design for ghagra part. You could also observe a distinction between two golden shades. This is because here I'm using gold bronze, because at that moment I didn't have antique gold available, so I was using gold bronze. I would suggest you to use antique gold instead of using the shade that I'm using. Okay, then you'll get exact similar shade from both the ready-made and DIY cone liner. To draw the stroke, you just need to press it hard to apply a dot and drag it to the center like this. I'm mostly using round and square shapes to create design for the entire jewelry structure because I'm planning to add glass color to give the impression of meenakari jewelry. Applying black color on the eyeballs, and then I'm using brush number 00 to draw the eyes, and then I'm using Vermilion Hue shade to draw the tilak. Okay, now here I'm applying glass color. I'll be using only two shades, red and green. So I'll apply these two shades alternately in the same order throughout the jewelry part to make it look gorgeous. To apply this glass color, you can either use a brush or you can also use a dot painting tool. Now what if you don't have glass paints? In that case, you can use acrylic paints, same green and red color to enhance the look of the jewelry. Other than that, you can also use some rhinestone, maybe some color stone to decorate. It's all depend how you want the final result to look. Following the sequence, I'm alternately applying red and green color. Applying dots using 3D outliner. Here I'm applying white dots using dot painting tool. This design will give an impression of pearl jewelry. You can also use those small pearl beads or stone to enhance the look. Adding some dot in the cheeks on the nose part. I have also added nose pin which I couldn't record, so you can check out the final image for those missing parts. Decorating the hair part using golden glass color and few dots. And finally I'm done with this beautiful Shreenathji painting. Remember to let the painting dry for at least 48 hours before varnishing. Now I'm going to apply varnish. Here I'm using spray varnish to cover the whole painting. You can also apply liquid varnish using flat brush. Here I'm sharing a small clip for you to understand the process. This is how you can cover the whole painting using liquid varnish. Okay, that's it for today. The process was lengthy, but I still tried to cover most of the possible things. And I hope this video will help you to learn something new. And if you're recreating this image, don't forget to tag us on your Insta and Facebook page. Last but not least, please leave your feedback in the comment section below, because this is the only way I feel connected with you all and keeps me motivated and inspired me to create more such tutorial videos for you. Hey wait, do I need to mention again that you also have to subscribe to support me? Don't forget, just click on the subscribe button and click on the bell icon to receive the notification of my upcoming projects. See you in the next video. Bye bye.